It was supposed to be just another fan meeting. A night of smiles, laughter, and warm interactions between ImYoona and her fans. But what no one expected was that this fan meeting in Japan would turn into one of the most unforgettable, heart-stopping moments in recent K-pop and K-drama history. Because right in the middle of the cheerful event, Yoona, graceful, glowing, and full of emotion, made what fans are now calling her public love confession toward none other than Junho. The moment was subtle yet unmistakable. The words were gentle but powerful. And the crowd's reaction? Absolute chaos. The event began as most of Yoona's fan meetings do, with laughter, fan gifts, performances, and behind-the-scenes stories from her career. She had just returned from several busy schedules, including her global event in Thailand for Solwasu, and fans were thrilled to see her healthy, radiant, and happy. Cameras flashed, fans waved their light sticks, and the atmosphere was warm. But no one could have predicted that the night would take an emotional turn that would send the entire fandom spiraling with excitement and disbelief. During one of the Q&A segments, a fan bravely asked the question everyone had been dying to know. Yoona, who do you feel most grateful for recently? The audience went silent for a second. Yoona smiled, her eyes softening in that way that fans instantly recognize, a mix of shyness and sincerity. She took a deep breath, adjusted her mic, and said, "Someone who has always made me smile, even when things were hard." The crowd immediately buzzed with anticipation, whispering, guessing, waiting. Then, with a little laugh, Yoona added, "He's someone who works hard, who's thoughtful, and someone I truly respect." Fans in the front rows began shouting, "Junho! Junho!" And that's when Yoona, trying to hide a growing blush, couldn't help but giggle. Instead of denying it, she simply smiled wider, nodded gently, and said, "Yes, I think you all already know." The room erupted in screams, claps, and even tears. Fans waved banners with Junho and Yoona's names, while others screamed, "It's real. We knew it." And finally, Yoona, though slightly flustered, didn't seem to regret her words. She looked genuinely happy, as if a weight had been lifted off her shoulders. For years, the world had speculated about her relationship with Junho. The two had shared on-screen chemistry that was too natural, too tender to ignore, especially after starring together in King the Land. Yet both had maintained silence, allowing rumors to swirl without confirmation. But this moment, this felt different. What truly sealed the confession came moments later when a host asked Yoona to describe her ideal type. Instead of giving the usual generic answers, she paused thoughtfully before saying, "Someone who can make me laugh even on the most stressful days. Someone who listens before speaking. Someone who understands me without words." Fans quickly pointed out that these were all traits Yoona had previously used to describe Junho during past interviews, back when they were promoting King the Land. One fan even shared a side-by-side video online, comparing Yoona's recent statement to an older clip from a press conference where she said the exact same words, looking directly at Junho as she spoke. And if her words weren't enough, Yoona's expression gave everything away. Every time someone mentioned Junho's name, her face lit up in a way that felt completely unguarded, genuine, pure, and almost impossible to hide. Fans later said, "It wasn't just a confession in words. It was a confession with her eyes." By the time the segment ended, social media had already exploded. Hashtags like #YOONA confesses to JUNHO, #JunYOONA is real, and #Queen of Hearts YOONA began trending worldwide. Clips from the fan meetings spread like wildfire across TikTok and Twitter, with millions of fans analyzing every second of her expression, tone, and body language. One viral tweet read, "She didn't just say it. She felt it." Another said, "This is not a slip-up. This is Yoona finally saying what she's held in for years. Double quotes. But what made this confession even more emotional was Junho's reaction later that same evening. Fans discovered that shortly after the fan meeting ended, Junho posted a cryptic Instagram story. A black and white photo of a bouquet of lily, Yoona's favorite flowers, with the caption, "Grateful for those who speak from the heart." The timing was too perfect to be a coincidence. Within minutes, fans began linking the two events, convinced that it was Junho's subtle response to Yoona's heartfelt words. Even media outlets couldn't resist covering the story. Korean and Japanese entertainment portals published articles with headlines like, "Yoona confirms her feelings for Junho," and Lee Junho's response to Yoona's confession breaks the internet. Though neither of their agencies released official statements, insiders revealed that staff members close to both stars were not surprised. One source shared, "They have always been close, even long after King the Land. They supported each other through everything, awards, events, even private struggles." What Yoona said was just an honest reflection of their bond. Adding to the emotional weight of the moment, fans recalled Yoona's hospitalization just weeks earlier, and Junho's reported late-night visit to check on her. At that time, it was rumored that his quiet visit had meant more than words. A show of love, loyalty, and care that went far beyond friendship. For Yoona to later publicly acknowledge someone who always made her smile even when things were hard only deepened the conviction that she was, in fact, talking about him. And while some skeptics argued that her words might have been playful or fan service, most fans weren't buying it. Yoona has been in this industry long enough to know the weight of her words. One netizen commented, "She wouldn't say something that specific unless it came from her heart." Another wrote, "It wasn't a rumor. It was a love story all along." Interestingly, at a recent brand event following the fan meeting, reporters asked Junho if he had seen Yoona's Q&A moment. His response? A soft smile and a simple, "I did." When pressed further, he added, "Yoona always says things beautifully. I'm thankful she thinks that way." That single comment was enough to set fans ablaze again. Quiet confirmation in the most Junho-like way possible. As days passed, even celebrity friends of the duo began subtly reacting online. Fellow idol actors left cryptic comments like, "Finally," and "We saw that coming," under unrelated posts, fueling the idea that everyone close to them already knew what fans were only now witnessing. But perhaps the most touching reaction came from fans themselves. Many described Yoona's words as brave and healing, praising her for being open about her emotions in an industry that often demands silence about personal matters. "She didn't need to name him," one fan wrote. "We all knew. Sometimes love doesn't need to be shouted. It just needs to be acknowledged." The confession moment has since gone down as one of the most iconic fan meeting highlights in Yoona's entire career. Not because it was scandalous, but because it felt real. It was a moment of truth wrapped in vulnerability, a quiet declaration that perhaps love and respect can coexist even in the dazzling, demanding world of celebrity life. Whether this marks the beginning of a public relationship or remains an intimate understanding between the two stars, one thing is certain. Lee Junho and ImYoona's have captured hearts not just as actors, but as people whose connection has transcended the screen. And for fans who have supported them since their King the Land days, Yoona's simple words were more than a confession. They were validation that what they saw and felt all along wasn't just acting. It was real, human, and beautifully sincere. What you think, fans? Was Yoona's statement at her fan meeting her way of finally confirming her love for Junho? or just a heartfelt thank you to someone special? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's celebrate this moment of truth together.